How do you think leaders are able to stay focused on their goals? How do you think leaders are able to take tough decisions? How do you think leaders become successful? Why do you think so many people follow leaders? It's because of one important characteristic, one important quality called clarity. Welcome to the video series A to Z of Leadership. I'm Fatha Khan, career coach and mentor, and today's alphabet is C. C for clarity. So what is clarity? Clarity means how do you think about future and what do you do to stay connected with what do you want today? How do you stay connected and focused in the present? So clarity provides leaders reason to stay connected, helps them grow and have a meaningful and fulfilled life. Clarity, leaders have clarity. Leaders have clarity of number one, who they are. Like what are their core values? What are their strengths and what are their weaknesses? Number two, what they want. What are their goals? What is their mission that they want to accomplish? Number three, how to achieve it. What is their plan to achieve it? And number four, and the very important thing for leaders, which we tend to ignore, which we don't understand, is what is that which will help them to have a meaningful and fulfilled life. If I have to take an example to explain these four questions, example of a leader whom I follow, my hero, and I'm sure he is the hero of many people, Bill Gates, who is one of the richest man. Today his net worth is about $98 billion. So if we try to get to these four questions, who they are, Bill Gates, who is Bill Gates? What are his core values? His core values is giving. What are his strengths and weakness? His strengths is technology. And both his strengths and weakness I can call people. He wants to serve humanity. And what does he want? Number two question, what does he want? He wants to achieve his goals, his mission, which is to eradicate polio. Eradication of polio is his mission. From the time in about 1988, when Global Polio Eradication Initiative was taken, Bill Gates has been associated and has been working on his mission to eradicate polio. At that time, about 125 countries had polio. And today, it's only a handful of countries. Otherwise, most of the countries, almost all of the countries are polio free. It was said about 350,000 people used to have polio. And today, it's less than 35 cases reported of polio in a year. So that is his mission. It's still not fulfilled because he wants to see a polio eradicated world. How do they achieve it? The number three question. Plan. The best thing I love about leaders is they put up a plan. And that plan is usually keeping the end result in mind. They do reverse engineering. If Bill Gates' mission in 1988 was to eradicate polio by around say 2018 or 2020, he would work in reverse. He would do reverse engineering in 2022. If he has to have zero countries with zero number of cases reported. Like in 2015, what should it look like? In 2010, what should it look like? In 2000, what should it look like? So they do this reverse engineering. And number 4, what is that which will help them to have a meaningful and a fulfilled life? For Bill Gates, definitely serving the society and eradicating polio is a meaningful and a purposeful and a fulfilled life. So how do people get that clarity? How do these leaders get get their clarity in life? Number 1, they ask questions. And whom do they ask these questions? Not to everybody. What to do, how to do, and all that. They ask questions to themselves. And the most important question they ask to get clarity is, why do I have to do this? They don't start off with, how do I do this? When do I do this? What do I do? They start off with, why do I want to do this? Their why is very clear. Clarity comes from their why. And then number 2, they do research on the topics. Like when Bill Gates started with his mission to eradicate polio, he started doing research on this topic. If somebody has to build a product, a leader would do research on the topic. He would first ask himself, why should he build that product? How can it help people? How can it help? How can it solve certain problem? And then he asks this question to himself is like, how do I do this research? They do the research on the topic. And number 3 is, they go ahead and experience and experiment. They take risk. They do the experiments to find out what is that they can get out of it. What is that they have found? What is that they want? So to summarize, leaders have clarity of who they are, what they want, how to achieve it, and what helps in bringing a meaningful and fulfilled life to them. And how do they get the clarity? Number 1, asking questions to themselves. Number 2, research on the topic. Number 3, by going ahead and doing experiments and experiences to find what they want. So, my dear friends, if you want to become a leader, then it's very important for you to seek clarity.